jams the ball in, and Oklahoma is
basketball, 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 basketball.
Teams' college basketball championship dreams will be realized at this place in Arlington. Today, the road to those dreams begins here at the American Airlines Center. 6 teams with championship hopes start their dreams tonight as the college basketball season begins. From here at the American Airlines Center to AT&T Stadium, a trip down the 30 freeway westbound is a 20-minute trip. But to be honest, road to the Final Four is a 5-month journey. Lots of twists and turns and some detours. How many times a team's going to be number 1 by the end of this year? For teams like North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, this is like a familiar trip, and they got championship banners to prove it. But beware a Cinderella. Remember Florida Gulf Coast? They spoiled some championship dreams last year, and they can do it again. Tonight, 6 teams begin their trip and their dreams of hoping to cut the nets in Arlington in 2014. The road to the Final Four begins tonight. Hoops, action, and more inside the American Airlines Center. Buckets and Boots, the big basketball event to kick off college basketball here in the DFW, and someone's dreams of championships begins here. 3 big games here tonight. We have SMU and TCU. We got Baylor and Colorado, but starting it off will be Oklahoma and Alabama. Oklahoma from the Big 12, Alabama from the SEC. Like I mentioned, dreams of championship hopes begin tonight. And coming up later on, the Hoops Action and More show, we'll have post-game comments from players and coaches talking about tonight's first game between Alabama and Oklahoma. So stand by. Lots more Hoops Action and More coming your way on the, oh boy. Want to start over? 3, 2, 1. Hoops Action and More from the American Airlines Center here in Dallas. Buckets and Boots, the big college basketball event to open up college basketball, the road to the Final Four, which will be March in Arlington. And if you hear noise behind me, that's OU. Oklahoma University, the Sooners coming out on the court ready to get warmed up for today's game. Oklahoma and Alabama. Later on, SMU and TCU. And then to close it out, Baylor and Colorado. But first, it's Oklahoma from the Big 12 and from the SEC, Alabama. And later on the Donnie Sport Hoops Action and More show, coaches, comments, and players after the game. We'll find out what they think about today's game and moving forward, their chances of cutting the twine in Arlington in March. Hoops Action and More from the American Airlines Center right here on the Donnie Sports 17 Network.
To the main tornado relief zone through the United in New York.
Well, it's been a very entertaining first half of basketball. Alabama sprinted out to a big lead. Oklahoma scratched and clawed, got back in it. Alabama, the Crimson Tide has a 1-point lead on the Sooners, 41-40 at halftime. This is the Donnie Sport Hoops Action and More show from the American Airlines Center. Buckets and Boots basketball event to kick off the college basketball season. Got the second half of this one. Don't forget, after this one, we have players and coaches' comments after this game. And don't forget, 2 more games to follow. SMU and TCU coming up. Baylor and Colorado to finish up tonight. You're watching Hoops Action and More from the American Airlines Center Buckets and Boots basketball event right here on the Donnie Sports 17 Network.
Attention to the court for immediate timeout.
2:38 left here in the second half. And
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's event, the Bucket and Boot
Oklahoma
Showcase,
looks like
benefits
they got
volunteer fire departments all over the state of
stranglehold on
Texas.
this one.
You'll find many of these first responders passing the boot out on the golf course today. We hope you'll consider making a donation and go to replace and repair vital equipment in their efforts to fight wildfires and to protect so many small communities here in
This game has a
Texas.
little more deeper importance than just the tip-off of the basketball season. Buckets and Boots is a charity to help raise funds for the fires that happen in Oklahoma and in Alabama. So fans get a chance to donate somewhere in the American Airlines Center. They can drop off whatever they can and help out the folks in Oklahoma and Alabama who got ravaged in the tornadoes and fires down there. Anyway, like I said, a very entertaining game to open up the season, 73-66. Alabama spread it out to a large lead, but Oklahoma scratched and clawed and came back, and they turned this game upside down, and now they got a lead with 2:38 left. Coming up later, we're going to get the opinions and the comments from both coaches. Lon Kruger from Oklahoma, Anthony Grant from Alabama, and then SMU and TCU, the Battle of I-30. They're going to play. Coming up next, and round off the evening, Baylor and Colorado. So we're going to keep the camera rolling here. I feel 7 points. There's still time for Alabama to string together a couple of baskets. They've been on a coach streak here.
Now going to line. For the two-shot bonus, Jalon Horby.
And foul shots coming up right now for Oklahoma. And first one up and good. And the second shot coming up. And it's also good. And the lead increases 75-66. The 9-point lead. Alabama's trying to stretch and claw, make it close. Carter turnaround jumper, front iron, no. Rebound. Oklahoma. Woodard with the ball. Woodard's been a busy guard tonight. There's a lot of good guard play in this game. There's some great guards for both teams. They were doing work tonight. Oklahoma's getting the maximum for the minimum, so they're going to be in for a win, but you got to secure the ball.
Back on the floor for Alabama, Algie Key.
And Oklahoma turns it over. It's Alabama Crimson Tide ball. Minute 55 left. And a long three-point bomb, no good. Battle for the rebound, Alabama gets it. Cooper. Oh, the Key drives. That's the Key. Alabama trying to run. They need baskets. They're running out of time here. And I tell you.
Foul is on number 24, Buddy Hield. That's his
Buddy
second
Hield,
personal.
number 24, gets charged with a foul, but Keith, that was an Alabama player that took steps 5 times, didn't even call it.
Now going to line for the two-shot bonus, Trevor Rellerford.
Good time to make baskets when the clock is not running. First one up and good.
Hey, running back in the game. Hey, you got shooters, man. Hey, Cal, help.
All right, Alabama looking to nudge close. Second shot up, rim rattles in. But what do you have?
No basket, lane violation.
Lane violation, wipe out the basket.
Come on.
Oklahoma gets possession. Only got 1 point out of the deal for Alabama. And they're applying the pressure. Oklahoma with the time. They're trying to burn some clock. Minute 17. 8-point lead for Oklahoma. Oh, a little deep move. Slip in. Baseline good. Woodard. Like I said, he's been doing work tonight.
1 minute remaining.
And a minute to go in this one. Looks like Oklahoma's got this one in the bag. Key, a fadeaway baseline rips the twine. And quick timeout.
30-second timeout, Alabama.
And the lead is 77-69 Oklahoma. 50.8 seconds left. This is a big basketball bid here in Dallas, here at the American Airlines Center. The Boots and Buckets basketball event to open up the college basketball season. Like I mentioned, SMU, TCU next. And then Baylor and Colorado to finish up the night. Lon Kruger's team looks like they're in the driver's seat.
Oklahoma ball on the floor, shot clock.
Inbound. Oh, and whoa! We had players flying, and on the other end, a slam dunk down to it. Boy, we had high-flying basketball players going all over the place. On the other end, Spangler jams the ball in, and Oklahoma is pretty much those guys here with a win, front iron, no. Cooper puts the basket in for Alabama. Actually, need a whole lot of those. And he gets wrapped in the arm. Bounce shot coming up.
Brandon Hasselbeck, that is his fifth personal foul.
And Hasselbeck is done for the night.
Disqualified.
5 fouls, he's done. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna take a look at the crowd. A lot of Baylor fans have arrived. They're happy because their Baylor Bears went to work on Oklahoma last night on the football field. And SMU, TCU fans are in the house in Colorado waiting for their games to get going. 23.4. Start up and good. Buddy Hilo. He's been a busy guy tonight for Oklahoma. Second shot spins out. Alabama, 19 seconds. They're looking to push. A drive and a left goes good. Cooper gets it. Now Buddy's trying to, and Key.
Dallas on the roll 0. Out to Key. That's his
Out to Key. Third personal. And it's back to the line.
Now going to line with the 2-shot bonus. Shalon Hornby.
Hornby, number 5, 2 shots coming up. There's nothing but icing on the cake from here on for the Sooners. First shot down, up and good. 15.3 left in this one. Second shot, drains it. Jacobs, here comes Alabama pushing. Key, left alone 3, no good. And Oklahoma with the rebound, 5 seconds, they can dribble it out. There they are.
And at the end of the game, the final score, 82.
82-73, Oklahoma comes away winners in the first game of the Buckets and Boots Showcase here for the American Airlines Center. It was a pretty entertaining game, and Oklahoma was down early, down a lot, but they scratched, clawed, and finally they turned the game upside down and they got a win. And there goes the victorious Sooners.
And there you have your final score in our Visit Dallas
Lon Kruger, congratulations.
with 15 points and 13 rebounds, Ryan Spangler. Congratulations, Oklahoma.
Ryan Spangler, big
Best
score
of luck the
man
rest of the
tonight.
season. And as always, we invite you to come back and visit Dallas. Big things happen here.
Well, as you just saw, Oklahoma getting the victory, 82-73 your final score, game one. Well, time to get the opinions
TCU Horn Frogs
of this one. 82-73 Oklahoma. Lon Kruger and some of the Oklahoma players, they got some things to say, and we're gonna let them have at it. So coming up next, post-game comments here on the Donnie Sport Hoops Extra and More Show, right here on the Donnie Sports 17 Network. Did I say the Donnie Sports 17 Network? Yeah, I did.
It was good to see. You don't know how your club's going to react in those situations. Obviously, Rutherford getting that third foul in the first half had a big impact on the ball game, and yet I thought our guys jumped up there and took advantage of that in a good way. Ryan Spangler rebounding everything. Thought he really did a good job on the boards. A real big key for us there, and then really, Buddy scored, and a lot of other guys. Which I think will be a trademark of this ball club. A lot of other guys stepping up at different times and making big plays. So, good first win. I think Alabama's a really good club. Coach Grant does a terrific job. So, anytime you can get one of those in the right column, you feel good about that.
Well, they got a lot of their baskets when you guys got down by 16, just driving. I mean, they were
Yeah.
scoring right there. What changed for you guys? And
Well, they did. They opened the ball game, just drove it at us, and we want to do that to other people. We don't want them doing it to us, and they won that battle right off the bat. They set the tone. They were bigger and stronger, more aggressive, right off the bat, and we didn't handle that very well. And then I thought we got ourselves a little bit under control again. When Rutherford got his third, that changed things a lot. But then we started attacking. We started covering a little bit better. We started being a little bit more active on the ball and picked up some steals, and again. Got back into it by halftime.
Early, Dirk, when they're hit you guys with a big run, you seem pretty content just to try to let your guys play their way out of it.
Well, yeah, early in the season, you need guys on the floor to step up there and kind of, shore it up a little bit. And I thought they did okay with that. We took the timeouts when they came. We didn't call any. But I thought the conversation among themselves was pretty good. And that Ryan stepped up there and was pretty vocal in a leadership type way. Buddy, I thought, responded, well at that time. It was good. It was good for us. Again, not that you want to be in that situation, but it's kind of interesting to see how you guys will handle that among themselves when you do get there.
Jordan didn't shoot particularly well, but I take it you're pleased with how he.
Yeah. I thought in the first half he was attacking, but he was not leaving himself an option to get out of trouble. And he's taking some tough shots at the end of that attack, but yeah, he did a good job. Every game for a while is going to be a learning experience for him in a very positive way. He's a terrific young player, and his ability to attack there late and get to the free throw line was really big, and we'll lean on that a lot throughout the year.
This is a 1-point game with about 6 minutes left. How impressed were you just with your club kind of closing it out and pulling away their lid?
Well, most games are going to be decided in that kind of that 3 to 6 minute area. Someone's going to make a little run and create a margin that they can play with the rest of the way, and that's a critical part of any game. And we got down a couple threes there at a critical time. We missed one that could have put it up to 9 there around that area that would have really made it a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, made a couple big shots there. And then I thought defensively guarded a couple times. And Ryan again got some big rebounds at critical times there.
start the second half, I think they were just 4 of 17 and had 4 turnovers maybe the first 10 minutes of the second half. Your defense at that point, again, were there any adjustments made at halftime, or was it just you guys kind of figuring out what they were doing?
Not really adjustments as much as just, re-identifying what we need to do and focus on. I thought our guys, got a little bit lower and fought the dribble a little bit better and helped each other a little bit better. But didn't really do anything differently, but execute a little bit better.
You've touched on Ryan a few times. How key will he be for you this year?
He'll be huge. He's just a really good rebounder. What he did today is not going to be unusual. I thought he had 3 or 4 others that just went off his fingertips or someone else got as a result of him getting his hand on it. So we'll see that out of Ryan. He's done that every day in practice, and he loves to rebound. He loves to run the floor. I thought he handled that a little pre-switch there late when they were screening for Relaford. Ryan kind of orchestrated that from behind, so his leadership and conversation there on the floor was really key. But he's a really good rebounder.
I know it's only the first game, but I mean, how nice is it to have the SEC win on the resume already?
Any of those are good. Of course, you look back later in the year, and they all count. They all kind of count the same, and regardless of when they come. But it's just good from a reinforcement, confidence building standpoint. Our guys understand we've got a long way to go and a lot of work to do, but they'll go to practice tomorrow with a little extra energy in their step and a little more excitement about making progress. I think you can make a lot of progress after a win like that, especially over a good club early in the season.
Last few questions for Coach Kruger before we turn it
What
over.
did you see differently Cam in the second half? Did you get anything else?
Just got a little bit more aggressive. First half, we didn't give him the ball, that much. He settled for a couple threes, which, shooting threes are fine. He's going to do that well, but still his base has to be attacking. And I thought he did that a little bit more. I think the rebounding got him going a little bit. Got a couple big rebounds there, and that kind of got him going, got him on the attack a little bit more. But Cam's going to have a good year. He's going to have a terrific senior season.
With just one senior starting, the fact that you guys got down early and you sort of just let him work the way out of it, is that a real pleasing aspect of this game?
Very much so, very much so. The sophomore group is kind of the core in terms of minutes on this club, and these 2 guys right here, I think when we were down, probably were the 2 that really took the lead right there and talked about energy, talked about sliding their feet, and again, good to see them do that among themselves on the floor.
You've talked about the younger guys' leadership tonight with such a young team, the young guys on the floor. How important will that be throughout the season for them to step up like that?
Well, it'll be very important. We don't go into ball games thinking that we're, the sophomore group's younger or they're just good players and they, have lofty goals and they want to make progress. They love being in the gym and they just want to keep getting better. And the fact that they've got the right attitudes to do that is really pleasing because they are just sophomores.
We'll let Coach take it easy, and we'll turn it over to our student athletes. Joining us is Ryan Spangler and Buddy Hill. Ryan had a double-double tonight with 15 points and 12 rebounds. Buddy had 19 points, 6 rebounds. Questions for the student athletes?
Buddy, what was the feeling when your guys were down 16 early?
I didn't know we were so down so much. We just, I look at the score and I was like, wow, we gotta pick it up. And, Ryan, he wanted to take the defense, but him, his energy stepped up, and I said, I gotta pick my energy up. And other guys like Jordan and Jalone, Isaiah, we just keep rolling. And after that, we down by 10, and after we cut the lead down, we ball game afterwards. And that's our confidence. And we're young, but just we gotta keep on going, and we're getting better, keep going on.
Was there anything particular you were hammering on that you wanted to see differently after getting down like that?
Pardon me?
Was there anything you wanted to see particularly you're preaching to the guys besides energy that you didn't see when you got down 16 early?
No, we just staying confident, and that's making plays with each other. Ryan rebounding, the stats say by himself, him hustling, tipping back in shots, and that's Cam getting the field back for the game, and just staying aggressive. Coach preached that we stay aggressive. Our first week, I set up the jump shots, and just stay aggressive, and it pays off for us.
Ryan, after sitting out a season and coming back, how good is it just to get out there and also to have the game like you did tonight?
It feels great, but it was well worth it, sitting out a year and working on my game, and obviously it's showing right now, and hopefully I can continue to keep doing that.
Coach says you love to rebound.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest goals for me. I think that helps the team in the little ways just to win a ball game. Playing defense, rebounding, diving after loose balls. I think that's what wins the games.
For both you guys, is it good to win this kind of game where you had some early adversity and then had them rally in the second half to make it sort of an up for grabs game?
You know, yeah, it was good for us. You know, that we going to Big 12. You know, playing on the road. You know, hostile environment. You know, we got to get used to like being down 10 points. You know, trying to find a way to come back. You know, and our energy that we have. You know, we quick guys. You know, we're going to attack the basket and trying to play our game back in the game.
We don't want to be like that, you know, we don't want to be down, but I think it's good for our young team, you know, it just shows how much we can fight back and just stay aggressive.
Buddy, they were driving past you guys there, you know, to get that lead. I mean, I mean, that's not great, right?
No, it's not great, it's correct. And, you know, Coach we can get you on the film for that, and we need to get you on the film for that, but we just got to stay aggressive, you know, we can't be tentative on defense, you know, we just got to stay aggressive, and probably we tended to pick, scared to pick up fouls, but we just got to be aggressive, you know, jump on teams and start that them jump on us, and trying to fight our way back inside, so we can stay aggressive every time and just, you know, take no plays off.
Any additional questions for the student athletes or Coach Kruger?
Lon, you guys seem to handle, you know, the new rules as far as handshaking and everything else a little bit better than they did.
I think everyone's worked on it pretty hard because the message has been it's going to happen. And I thought both teams handled that pretty well. There would be some moments in games that may be a little ugly in terms of fouls, but we worked hard on it. We worked hard, and I think sometimes you know, them driving the ball at us is a little bit of a result of us emphasizing keeping our hands back and not fouling. But yeah, we got to find that line where we keep our hands back, not foul, and still guard aggressively. So I thought we were a little bit too passive there early when they were attacking us. So we got to keep working on finding that appropriate line.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like I mentioned, tonight begins the road to the Final Four. And it's a 20-minute drive from here to Arlington on the 30. But the road to the Final Four, like I mentioned, is a 5-month journey. And at the end of the journey, someone will be getting this. You're looking at it. This is the 2014 NCAA National Championship Trophy. This goes to the winner of the team that's going to cut the twine in Arlington. As you can see, it's a very, very beautiful trophy here. And like I said, the folks, the city of Dallas, actually all of North Texas, has really stepped up. And, you know, keep in mind, 1986 was the last time the Final Four was here in North Texas. And in case you want to know, Louisville beat Duke. I hit that right?
You did.
There you. And it's a long, that's it. It's a 5-month journey, and it's a long way to go. But they're going to need some extra people to help out with this big, gigantic event that's coming to town in April 5th and 7th. And just like the Super Bowl, we're going to need a lot of people. And if you want to volunteer, let's talk to someone who is in charge of volunteering. That'll be you. Your name?
Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi.
How you doing? So if one wants to volunteer just to help out, you know, they'll have a lot of out-of-town people coming to town. And this is like a big event. And if you're a sports fan, you gotta gobble this up. So if you want to volunteer, where do you go?
Go to our website. Go to www.ncaa.com/Final Four.
And
click on the volunteer tab, and that'll bring you to volunteer registration. You can find out all about all the volunteer opportunities that there are.
That's right, yes. And, you know, like I said, a lot of people will be coming to town, and no telling from where. Of course, personally, I like to see a Texas team involved in the mix. But, you know, you're going to have a lot of people from all 4 corners of this country coming in. And also, a lot of press, media, basketball junkies like me. They're all going to be piling in when that date comes around. So get your volunteer on, and it's a lot of fun. If you did the Super Bowl a few years ago here in Dallas, there should be no problem. And if you're engaged, if you're a people person, you know, this gig is for you.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. So you know the address, you know the website to go to, and who knows, you may end up wearing these lovely wristbands here. Yeah, these. I'll represent DFW right there. Of course, I represent DFW all the time. Thank you, Sarah,
Yes,
for sharing the information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Council 11, a group of local leaders.
Well, it's halftime here in the Battle of the Metroplex. SMU, TCU, and a battle it is. 1 point separates the teams. SMU has a 30-29 lead on the Horned Frogs. Like I mentioned, it's halftime. By the way, SMU is one of those teams you might want to take an eye on, and for good reason. Their recruiting class, according to Rivals.com, hang on, there's a Rivals.com guy over here, so I'm trying to get his attention. According to Rivals.com, SMU's recruiting class was ranked number 14, which is pretty good. They got some local kids on this team. And this is Larry Brown's second year coaching the Ponies, and there's a lot of good buzz on the hilltop. So keep your eye on the Ponies. Like, I want to keep my eye on the Ponies. And after this game, we're going to go to the locker room and get the comments from coaches and players as SMU and TCU battle hard here at the AAC Buckets and Boots basketball event, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And this game poses to be a pretty good one down the stretch. Usually when you have the rivalries, the two teams from the Metroplex, the two main schools, is a lot of fun. So stick around. Post-game comments coming up, and we're going to throw in some action highlights as well. Hope you like them here on the Donnie Sports 17 Network. Well, here we are, the final few minutes after 2:34. Here in the second half, SMU and TCU. SMU's got 62-57 lead.
Shoot the 1 and 1.
Ryan Manuel, I got it right. First shot up and good. Second game of the night as far as the basketball triple header we got going. We'll spare the crowd here tonight. Second shot up and good. SMU up 7, got a little lead. It's been a tight game back and forth for a while, but SMU looks like they've got some spacing going for themselves right now. As the TCU's trying to come back. And here's the steal. SMU driving on. Left out. And he made it all the way to the crowd. There he is. Daniel Ryan will have more.
That's his third personal. That is the 19th foul. Now going to line for 2 shots. Ryan Manuel.
A little bit about SMU's ball club is Ryan Manuel, I'll get his name right. Isaac. Up and good. Look at this SMU team tonight, first time on the court, and you know what? I'm beginning to like what what I see. They're passing the ball well. They like to run. Second shot, no good. Yeah, scrappy bunch with a lot of good guard play. 2-0, about to hit the 2-minute marker, and traveling
SMU ball.
on TCU. SMU will get it back. Exactly 2 minutes left here in the game. Nick Russell with the ball. That's out to Manuel. Russell again. This kind of drive. Whoa! Man, yeah.
The foul is on number 22, Jarvis Ray. That is his 5th personal foul.
And Manuel hits the deck hard. But he's up.
And that is the 10th team foul. SMU will be in the double bonus for the remainder of the game.
And bucket lead. It's 67-57. TCU trying to find some sort of spark to get close. Oh, and we have a whistle and a foul. Shepard will go to the line. And Manuel will be called for the foul.
That's his first personal.
And that's his first one of the game.
Now going to the line for the two-shot bonus. Two shots. Kamar Shepard.
Shepard's first shot, dancing around and in. Shepard, second shot up, and good. Minute 21 left in this one. SMU has the lead. They're in no hurry, but they're going to quickly bring it up anyway. John Williams over to Moore. Williams again.
1 minute remaining.
Moore has the ball. 1 minute left in the game. SMU trying to milk the time. And Will picks up a brick. Woof.
Kennedy.
Foul shots.
That's his third personal. Now going to line for two shots. Kian Anderson.
Kian Anderson. Two shots for him. First one up. Good.
Back on the floor for TCU. Michael Williams.
Pressure in the backcourt. Nick Moore gets it out of there. Manuel wants to drive, and he'll be at the foul line again.
Foul number 11, Brandon Parrish. That's his first personal.
28.7 seconds left for this one. SMU's about to put victory number 1 in the win column. Manuel looking to add more points. He's at double digits at 11. Make that 12.
Timeout, TCU.
Now listen, we got a timeout, TCU.
And then something for the TCU band.
Up the second game here at the big basketball event here in downtown Dallas tonight. At Baylor in Colorado. Back to action.
Back to the line for one shot. Ryan Manuel.
And Manuel looking to add to his total. He has 12 points on the night, looking to make it 13. Isaac puts it up. And no good. Except for the rebound. Here goes TCU. They're pushing. Trying to get whatever points they need. They move in the lane. Whistle and a travel.
SMU ball. 2, Michael Williams. That's his first personal.
Michael Williams.
Now going to line, 2-shot bonus.
Nick Moore.
Nick Moore.
And let me put the camera on the SMU crowds. They're a loud crowd tonight, and they're getting their money's worth. They're going home with a win. First shot up by Moore, no good. Second shot by Mr. Moore is good. The Frogs hurry up. No good. Moore to rebound. 1 second left. Game over.
And at the end of the game, the final score, TCU 61, SMU 69. That's your final score. And our VisitDallas.com big play of the game from SMU with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists, Nick Moore. Congratulations to SMU and the best of luck the rest of this season. And as always, we invite you to come back and visit the AAC. Big things happen here.
SMU coming away to win. 69-61. I tell you, SMU should be very proud of the effort tonight. And coming up, Coach Larry Brown. Talk about a guy that has been around the basketball block. And let me throw the camera at him. He's about to make this move heading this way. As he addresses the crowd, but he on the show that gives you more, Donnie Sports Hoop Section and More show right here on the Donnie Sports 17 Network.
To be honest with you, I feel for Trent. You know, you got Fields on the bench and Weatherspoon on the bench, a couple other big kids. He never plays zone. We weren't prepared for zone. I thought there was a rule early in the season, you don't play zone. But I admired the way he kept their team in the game. That being said, we got to win, you know, against the rival and a phenomenal facility. And God, I looked in the stands. We had a lot of SMU people. That was terrific. That was exciting to have that. But I'm not going to say we played like the YMCA in 1907. But we had an 18-6 lead and a chance to blow the game open. All of a sudden, we're playing like the summertime, taking shots with one pass, turning the ball over, getting ourselves in foul trouble, and then they controlled the tempo and did a phenomenal job of getting back in the game. But we hung on, got a win, and I think we all should be excited about that.
Questions for Coach Brown?
You guys really won the battle down the road. Is that an area you kind of knew you could take advantage of some of their youth and experience down there?
I mean, we don't have old men down there, to be honest with you. I thought Kruger did a great job. You know, I think Trent went to Zoe to protect him a little bit, but I thought for first game as a freshman, both Kruger and Keith did a really good job, because it's not easy. But our big guys didn't take advantage of their lack of size. Our big guys played small. You know, Marcus Kennedy, we played Colorado and played Texas Tech, and our big guys dominated. They didn't dominate tonight. Cannon Cunningham was the only big guy that played big for us. I thought he really gave us tremendous lift, but you know, I think that's the way Trent has to play for a while, you know, because you got to protect Kruger. You know, hopefully Weatherspoon will get it. They give everybody a waiver, shoot. Well, maybe everybody gets waivers, what? And they get him a waiver. I guess his brother stayed in Utah and he's here, I don't know. But they're going to be good. Their young kids are good. So this is a good win for us.
Coach, talk about Nick Moore, his first game for you, player of the game.
You know, a lot of things I thought he did great. He had 7 defensive boards the first half. You know, he made some hustle plays. You know, shows a lot of poise, but he's playing faster than anybody else on our team. Shot some balls that, you know, we weren't ready, didn't take advantage of our size, the fact that maybe they were in foul trouble. But he'll learn. This is the first time he's played in a long time. You know, all of them, Crandall, you know, Marcus, and Nick. So that was a good first game for him. There's a lot, you know, I think we can talk to him about, because he really wants to be great, and I'm confident he'll do better and better.
Speaking of playing fast, I noticed several times you were kind of telling Keith to slow it down, and he seemed pretty excitable when he was getting ready to check in, and grabbed him by the arm.
Yeah, well, there's not a shot that he don't think he can make. As soon as he walks in this area code, he's ready to let it go. And I have confidence he can make shots, but, you know, for him to play, and to play as well as we all know he can, he's got to learn how to guard. You know, he's got to learn time and score. There's a lot of things that, you know, he needs to get better at, but he comes every day and tries. He just wants to play. You know, he's like a young colt. He's dying to play. I'm mad because our 3 freshmen are terrific. You know, I wanted to get Sterling and Ben in more, but the way the game, you know, played out, it was hard. We were scratching to win, but the more Keith plays, the more structure he has, you know, in practice, you know, the better he'll get, because he got a stroke. He's not afraid to make a shot, and he wants to be great. So
What were you trying to accomplish by telling him
I just want him to let the game come to him, and, you know, and I tell him all the time, you know, the offensive part of it, we figured that one out. Now he's got to figure out all the other things, you know, that it takes to be a, you know, great college player. And I think that'll come for all our young kids.
Any reason Keith didn't play the first couple minutes?
Pardon me?
Any reason that Keith didn't play the first couple minutes?
No, he got hurt. But I wouldn't have had him in at the end of the game. You know, he hadn't been in situations like that right now. But he'll play. That's what, you know, our early season schedule, the first few games are tough. I don't mean any game's easy, but we got Rhode Island, who's a much improved team, who buried us last time, and we're playing, I don't know where the hell we're playing.